Viewer discretion is advised.
In one of the few division games this week, Georgia Chill Penguins look to continue the pursuit of the top spot of the Dr. Pepper division when they went up against the comeback kids CBK this week. These two teams met in Week 6 where Penguins narrowly got the victory 75-76 in a low-scoring affair. In that game, Penguins was strongly aided by the work of the league's top scorer Drew Brees and early surprise tight end Owen Daniels. Sadly, this time around, Daniels would be on the IR, so would lightning strike twice for Penguins, or would CBK live up to their name? With Thursday games starting this week, Penguins would have an early start on the fantasy trail. Leading off of them would be rookie Michael Crabtree and kicker Robbie Gould. For a turnover fest, there wasn't much scoring for either the 49ers or the Bears, so Penguins would only be able to scrounge up 4 points for Crabtree and 8 points for Gould. After the Thursday game, Penguins would have a small 12-0 lead heading into the weekend. Now comes Sunday, and with that the big boys who played early. For CBK, they made one bad decision that would make them sweat until midnight of Monday night, and that was the benching of Peyton Manning in favor of Brett Favre. Now, Favre would get 17 points, but Manning would do a whole lot more against the Patriots. Ronnie Brown would run for 13 points as well, but an injury would hit one of their players in the early going. Cedric Benson would leave early with an apparent hip flexor, so the 2 points he had at that moment would be the final for him. For Penguins, the early going would be fruitful if your name was Steven Jackson, as Jackson would lead all scores for Penguins with 23. Drew Brees did well with his 12 points, but not up to the Drew Brees standard of 2009. After the 1 o'clock games, Penguins would have a 52-68 lead with only one player left and CBK with 2 players left. The 4 o'clock game would produce nothing. Both Falk and Zach Miller would produce big goose eggs. Now, CBK was down by 16 points heading into Monday Night Football. However, this all could have been avoided if they had played the one Peyton Manning, who would torch the Pats defense for 25 points. Actually, CBK would leave 80 points in total on his bench. This usually would be the recipe for disaster and a huge loss. Could CBK pull out a Monday Night Miracle? Would the Browns' offense be just that bad? Yes and yes. The Ravens' defense would get that 16 points back and more, as they would total out by the end of the game 24 points, and that would ultimately give CBK the lead and the win 76-68. Penguins were truly hurt by the play of their tight end and the lack of production from the quarterback. Also, injuries were key here, which was the reason rookie wideout Michael Crabtree was in the lineup as opposed to a Pro Bowler, Anquan Boldin. With the win, CBK stays at 2 games behind the division lead and snaps a 2-game losing streak. As for Penguins, they lose some ground in the division title as Fire gained a 1-game lead off of them. CBK will play their most important game of the year next week, where they face off against the defending champ Ploy Destroyer, who have lost 4 of the last 5. The winner of this game will be alive in the playoff hunt, however the loser surely will not have a high percentage chance of making it. As for Penguins, they also have their most important game of the year as they will try to avenge an early year loss to the division leader Reign of Fire and look to even up the division lead with a win.